good, buddy? How's it going?
What's up, Blair?
Chilling, man. Hey, this is my brother. He's the co-host of the show. His name's Dominic.
What up,
Hell yeah.
Nico?
What up, Dom? How you doing, player?
I'm good. Nice meeting you too, man. I heard great stuff. We're excited to have you on the show.
I appreciate you guys having me, man. Sorry it's such a process. It's been busy.
Hey,
That's good.
No worries, man. You know, we know how it goes. We deal with a lot of professional CEOs, and so we know the vibe. We're pumped to have you on the show. This is actually episode 1 of the second season. Nico Hiraga, welcome to the show. You know, before we get dialed into professional acting and kind of what you're doing outside of skateboarding, would love to learn a little bit about kind of your roots to San Francisco and growing up in the city.
Yeah, man. Basically lived in SF my whole life. Grew up in Upper Fillmore, Lower Pack Heights area. Beautiful area. Blessed to be there. Was born on 3838 California.
Was that a hospital, 3838 California, or were you?
Yeah.
I thought maybe it could be one of those ones where it's like the folks are driving home, it goes down, right? The birth is given right on the block, right there.
Yeah, I was born right on Standing.
Yeah.
I was born in a hospital right at 3838, right near Laurel Village. But yeah, man, SF Native. That's why I was so stoked to do this. You know, it's like it's not a lot of people that are doing stuff for the, like, trying to put on for the Bay that hard anymore. So it's like when I see it happening, it's like I guess super stoked on it. You know.
I know you're pretty tight with your folks, and family was pretty important for you growing up. You know, just kind of seeing the Instagram posts, I see you got a real good relationship with your mom. Does she have a big influence on your life?
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Growing up, I always was like, you know, family first, family over everything. That was one of those things in like those movies where like where people would be like, yeah, family first. I really took that into consideration, and I'd be like, yeah, family over everything. Yeah, my mom, my pops. Yeah, I both care about deeply. My pops is from Seattle. My mom is from Rhode Island, and they met at Brown, and just fell in love, and wild cuppy. I mean wild couple. My pops is a kind of a stricter Japanese dude, and my mom is like a hippie white lady, and it's just a strange combo, but they just absolutely fell head over heels. And I don't know, like it's just, I mean, they motivate me, man. They keep me pushing every day, you know. Coming up, like before I started to be like, I want to do this for me, I was always saying like, I want to do it for them first. You know, it was them first before me, you know. And in a way it still is, but it's like, you know, I'm trying to make myself proud too at the same time. But yeah.
How was you were saying your pops was more strict? How was that growing up? Was he, you know, very structured for you? And you know, like, how did he kind of you know, confront stuff like skating? Were you into skating as a young kid? Obviously that's something a little more wild outside of the lines of structure, you know.
Yeah, man. He's definitely loosened up since I've been making my own money now. You know, he was worried for a second, for sure. I mean, he still is, man. I am kind of a wild child in some ways, but fucking he was definitely not stoked on me skating for a while. He definitely thought that I would end up at a McDonald's, the local McD's right on Haight. Definitely thought I'd be working there if I kept skating. And they didn't want me, you know, he told me throw out my board a couple times because, you know, I was super distracted, you know, and he wanted me to do well in school, which I appreciate. You know, he wanted me to succeed, but definitely skateboarding for a little while was a distraction, and he saw that. But I always saw it as like my passion, and someday I would be getting paid for it. And eventually I did, and he started loosening up a little bit. Still it's like, it's rough when your kid is like an athlete for skating, and like it's always getting hurt and stuff. You don't always like to see that. And then that's when like acting and like modeling came into play, and then he got stoked because it's like I'm not even putting my carcass on the line anymore. He's just like chilling.
Was your mom kind of slipping you new boards on the down low, kind of like, hey, I picked this one up at the shop, just don't tell, just like here?
Nah. She was like she was always pretty mutual. She was always just kind of like, because I was having boards sent to me before I was I was Flow for a couple companies, and I'd have boards shipped in through the mail, so like I wouldn't have to go pay for boards anymore. And my mom was always just like, look, whatever you and your pops got going on, that's between you two. Don't drag me into the middle of it. And I was like, yeah, all right, fair enough. I feel you. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's always how it went down. But yeah, I mean, it was a process for a while. Just like growing up as the only child with a pops who has a vision for you. But you're kind of like almost the problem child, if you will, but like not so much in a really bad, aggressive way, but it's just a process.
How did you get dialed in with FTC? I know that you got a real close relationship with Kent, and you were like a FTC young buck or young gun or whatever. Mm-hmm. How did that kind of help you get excited for skateboarding?
That's all because of my uncle Ando. I call him my uncle. He's not my actual uncle, but I mean, he damn near is. But Ando, if there's anyone I've seen who like puts on for the city, it's like Ando. Ando is a huge influence on my life. I'm for those that like don't know Ando, he's a photographer, amazing photographer, SF Andonesia, and he was an FTC head, and I grew up, and I started skating with Sean Connolly at the SF Skate Club, and Ando would come on some days and take photos with the kids, and like just be a cool mentor, and I just kind of gravitated towards that energy. He was one of the most positive, cool, down to earth people you could ever meet in your life. So given that, I was just totally levitated towards him, and him working at FTC made me start going into FTC, and instead of like Purple Skunk or Deluxe, both great
Purple
skate
Skunk.
Purple Skunk. Even I went into Purple Skunk, dude. Just
bro.
Checking
Purple
those new
Skunk.
wheels and the trucks. I'm like, man.
Shout out to Lizzie. Lizzie was, I think, the Purple Skunk gal, right?
Bro, I'm not even sure, but I remember I was in there as a Grom before I was in FTC, just being like, damn, this skate shop is tight. And then I went into FTC and I was like, damn, this skate shop is tight, But yeah, man, Purple Skunk was super dope. But basically, I started going into FTC more strictly because Ando worked there. Then I met Kent. Kent's Japanese. Kent took a liking to me because probably I'm a little Japanese skater, dude. And like, I was always that little obnoxious kid in there, but they would always give me like the used boards that people would come by and drop off. I would skate a lot of the used boards. Yoshiaki Toda would drop off his used pro boards there, and I'd be so hyped to be skating his used boards, like Jack Curtin boards, Western Editions, like yeah, I grew up skating all those used boards. And then when we put out that video, FTC Young Bucks, at that point I was still buying my own shoes, getting decks for free from FTC. But when we put out FTC Young Bucks, that's when the people over at Krill Tap reached out, Sam Smythe, and offered me to ride flow for like Lakai and get chocolate boards. And I was super fucking hyped, dude. I was out the roof, dude. But yeah, I mean, honestly, Ando definitely has a huge part of my career, no doubt.
Was there a lot of pressure, like being a young guy and skateboarding and being on flow, and having to put out parts? Did you feel that pressure, or was it always just like, hey, I'm really enjoying myself and this comes naturally to me?
I feel that pressure a little bit more now, because I don't have a lot of time to skate. So the public are more like, man, Nico, you fucking sell out, man. Like you like this actor model now. You don't even skate anymore. And it's like, man, I'm trying to, man. Like I'm fucking in these streets like damn near every day trying to get clips. But it's like it's tough when you got these like 2.5 long month jobs that you got to be good for. It's more tough now, for sure. Back in the day, though, like I was skating for fun every day, and then when I got flow, I didn't feel any pressure or nothing. It just kept me wanting to go harder and harder and harder in the streets, like had me wanting to put on more for the companies that are like taking the time to send shit to me to rep their company. I just wanted to put on. So it motivated me more. And it never really felt like a job. Nowadays, it feels more like it's hard to skate for fun these days. And like when I can get out in the streets, I got to really focus and try and like be about getting my clips. But some days, I will have off days and just like fuck around skating, like sketch on some cars and whatnot. And
Yeah,
that's all.
like anyone.
Hey,
Yeah.
Nico, how supportive are these movie studios? I mean, if it's me, bro, and I got you on set, I'm building you like a little street setup so that in between the takes, you're able to kind of get out there, or is that like it's hard to get in between the zones?
Dude, no, because like these people on these sets, these producers, they're throwing in thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for these movies, these TV shows, and
They can't risk injury.
I'm a liability if I'm a huge skateboarder, just trying to skate every break I get. So in the contracts that I'm given, like they usually say like, make sure you're not doing anything where you could injure yourself for this film for the next 2.5, 3 months. Like you got to be, because then it's you can't be a liability. So I mean, they're on it. I mean, they already know. If they're hiring me, they already know like who they're hiring. And they know what I do. So they're definitely not building me shit on the set. They're trying to keep me in a cage.
We gotta start getting you some roles that have like the character has a cast on already, so you can be like, look, dude, my character already has a cast. I'm good. Let me do my thing, man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Right?
so I feel like, we grew up in the city as well. And when I was younger, the folks just dropped me off at Pier 7 and they picked me up, later in the evening time or late afternoon time. I feel like your era of skateboarding growing up in the city was a lot different because, there really wasn't like an EMB or a Pier 7. There was Third and Army, but that was kind of in a sketchy area. So how did you like build your identity as a skateboarder in San Francisco?
I mean, the people I just surrounded myself with, my day ones, Tafari Witter, Joel Misner, twins, Danny and Dean Casulo, Sam Chow. I I grew up with these heads that were on the same track as me, all from different cultures, all from different backgrounds, but all just had one vision. That was to just fucking skate, you know? And that's what we did. I mean, same thing. Like instead of Pier 7, I was getting dropped off at the island, you
Right.
know? Or I was taking, I used to take my fucking box. I used to take it and carry it all the way down to the one and put it on the one and trek all the way down to the island, set it up at the island, and then just skate for like 7 hours on end and like have all the homies come and skate the box, you know, like it was just everyone trying to do the same thing, you know. You build that crew, and then I mean those fools are just like for lifers, you know.
Yeah, I feel you.
Did you ever hit Cabrillo School? That was a popular mic spot on what was that, 24th and
Cabrillo, yeah. We skated Cabrillo. Yeah.
They had that little back area with a little bit of that like stadium seating, and then they had that was cool.
The big stair set there. Hey, I know that being Japanese has strongly influenced you, and I know that it influenced you in some of your design work with Lakai. Can you like expand and talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure, man. I guess like in a way I always being Japanese gave me gave me something to be different from those around me. I went to a kind of a real bougie private school in Marin growing up for middle school. Being Japanese was something that took me out of the norm, you know, and also being a skateboarder too, you know, no one else skated. So like I felt really prideful in those two senses, skateboarding and being Japanese. And I also, as much as my pops, you know, was tough on me growing up, you know, I wanted to put on for him, you know, and his side of the family. My mom was always like, why don't you put on for your white side as much? And I'm like, because I'm fucking trying to put on for these cherry blossoms, dude. Like this is what I want to like flow with. So I mean that's just where I got my inspo from, is basically my pops and his background, and anything I do really I like to just kind of incorporate any kind of, you know, Japanese twist on it. You know, if I'm doing design or something, if I'm doing shoes for Lakai, you know, Lakai wants to do another shoe right now, and you know, who knows, maybe I'll incorporate something with like the flag or something. But it's always in the back of my mind, you know, like I'm always just, there's a lot to build off of. And I mean, the culture is just fucking ill, dude, you know, so it's like I'm all over it.
The culture is insane. Have you been a lot? I mean, have you traveled a lot to Japan as a kid, and did you go there heavily kind of growing up and get those influences?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I went to, when I was younger, when I was real young, I went to Kyoto to visit my family. That's where my family's from. And then I didn't for a while. And then actually the reason why I got to start visiting actually yearly was because of FTC. Kent would fly me and Ando. It was always with Ando. It was like me and Ando, and then like a couple other dudes. And we'd always go. We'd some of the team. We'd fly out to Japan, and because they have several skate shops out there. One in Nagoya, one in Osaka, and one in Tokyo. So FTC is popping in Japan, dude, and it's super dope to see it. But yeah.
Does Japan put on hard for the skate culture? It seems like, you know, built into a lot of their like some of that like cult culture in the US and like throughout the world, like they love the culture that has like, you know, the very, like the skate culture, which is very identifiable, has its own unique set of kind of like customs and all kinds of different, like, you know, rituals and things like that. Is that something they go hard for, the skate culture?
Yeah, man. Like I think if fools are down with the skate culture in Japan, then they're fucking down with it. You know, like these fools. I mean, some of these fools look like they could be in the Yakuza that skate. You know, tatted up bodies, fucking hardcore ass Japanese looking dudes. It's like same shit. It's like I think it's like, you know, it's kind of the rebellious thing to do out there. You know, it's like, you know, you're not working that 9 to 5 in that office job, fucking losing your shit. You know, these skateboarders are out there hustling, and it's like definitely, and style's a huge point out there, man. I mean, Japanese skateboarders are just powerful. They're super powerful. I mean, fucking Yuto just took gold for the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like, Japan's on top right now for skating. So it's like,
Yeah, Japan
that's
and
another
Brazil.
thing. What?
Japan and Brazil for sure. I
Yeah,
feel like.
Japan and Brazil for sure, man. They're killing it, you know, like they're coming out the woodworks, right? And like people are like, oh fuck, like Jesus, it's not just LA and SF and New York who's got the heavy hitters, right? It's like shit's all around.
When you go to visit, do you have a pretty big following in Japan where they're like you're getting stopped in the street?
Definitely, they treat me like royalty out there, bro. And it's like damn, like to see that and see like some of the effort that I've put in, like trying to put on for Japan and stuff. And, you know, it doesn't go unseen out there, you know, and then I appreciate it. That's why when people come up to me in the Bay and they're like, yo, you're putting on for the Bay, like no one else is doing it. Like I get that. That's the shit that fucking keeps me pushing, dude. You know, it's feedback like that. You know, it's I mean, given the fans that come up and are like, I love your movie. I love that one shoot you did. You know, your skating is great. I'm like, thank you so much. Thank you. But also it's like the ones that stick out to me, like, are the ones that are like, yo, you're putting on for our culture. Like, appreciate it.
Yeah,
Bless.
that's huge. So you mentioned, all right, so you're skating, you're starting to get your first, you know, sponsorships, et cetera. When does the transition, or when do you get introduced to that world of acting, modeling, that whole thing? When does that come about?
So I'd been modeling for a while. I started getting jobs for modeling when I was, say, 15. There's little stuff here and there, and then they eventually got more serious. And it was just that was that at that point I was like an alternative, a source of income. Started getting paid from skating when I was 16. And I mean, I was stoked. You know, I was super juiced. But you can't go your whole life just getting paid through skating and like a modeling job, like once every while. You know,
Yeah, tough.
so. But I wasn't thinking too much of it. You know, I was just going day to day. I was still in high school, so I wasn't tripping. But I ended up fucking up my ankle. I remember, pretty crucial, dude. I fucked it up pretty bad. Tore the ligament. Doctor told me it was just spraining to be better in like a week, and then it turned out to be like a year and a half, 2 years, and I was just like, go fuck yourself, dude. Like, fuck you. And basically, from there, I was like, you know, I was still getting paid monthly from skating, but it's like I'm not putting in the work. You know, I feel like shit, dude. I'm getting paid for not even fucking putting on. You know, like this doesn't feel right. Like I'm not earning my dues, and like I was like, so what do I do, man? Like, and you know, modeling, so, you know, on and off, and my cousins, I remember my cousin was telling me like, yeah, you should be an actor. Like you're always good at imitating like the family and stuff and being like an annoying little prick. Like fucking you try acting. And I was like, I remember them saying that. I was like, you know, fuck, let's try it out, man. I tried it out. and I booked this job. I got a manager, which I was super hyped on. He's my boy. And it was just me and him for a while before I got signed with WME. But I booked this job and flew to New York for it. And it was a small movie called Skate Kitchen. And it was dope. That was my first job. And it was sick. It was a good time. And then my second one ever was fucking Booksmart. And then Booksmart just like blew it out the fucking kitchen. And, you know, that shit went viral, right? Like, that was a popping ass movie. It still is. And I was like, wow, this is dope. Like, I don't know what it is, like beginner's luck or whatever, but it was like, that was in like one of my first like 6 auditions I had ever done was Booksmart and Skate Kitchen. So even my manager was like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but you know, let's keep doing it, man. Like, geez, we're doing it. And I was like, all right, hell yeah. And so we just stuck to it, you know, given throughout the whole process, I'm going to physical therapy every other day, working the shit out of my ankle. You know, I had surgery on it and got like a big ass rod going up my ankle and like, but in the process, you know, I'm still working, you know, it's a whole hustle. So, but it's all good now. And it's like 87% better. And, you know, I get to skate on, you know, when I can and shit, but it's just another thing added to the roster is acting.
Is the rush that you get when you land a sick ass trick and the rush that you get when you see yourself on screen a similar rush, or is it completely different?
Damn, I never thought about that.
Like
Um,
obviously, you know, when I do my no slide shove it out, I'm so happy, dude, even though it's the only trick in my bag of tricks. But and I feel like in my old age, I'm so much more excited about doing it because I understand, like, you know, I'm 6'7", 240. I shouldn't be doing this type of stuff. But I have to imagine that rush when you see yourself on the Netflix series is pretty crazy.
yeah, you know, I noticed that it is different. Um, it's different in a way of like seeing myself on TV on the big screen. It's like a jittery feeling. It's like a feeling of I think in the back of my head I'm like, fuck, I can't wait for my pops to see this. You know, like he's gonna be so stoked. Like can't wait like for my grandma to see this. Like it's like that feeling. Whereas it's like when I land a trick skating, that's all for me. And I'm like, can't wait for the fucking like skate homies to see this clip. Like, can't wait for the fucking Thrasher to see this. Like, cause dude, I'm fucking hucking my carcass for this trick and I land it and it's like, man, the wait is over. Like, let's go. The drought is over. Like, let's turn up. Whereas on screen, it's like, yeah, I hustled for 2 months filming that movie. And the whole time, every time I pop on screen, I'm just kind of just jittery, you know? Whereas skateboarding, landing that trick that you've been working for an hour, 2 hours, a week, a fucking month, that feeling is like orgasmic, bro. It's insane, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, well, different, you know, for sure. Like sticking a skate trick, like you said, I mean, number one, you're happy to not be busted up, especially if it's something where you're like jumping a rail or something like that. Um, and you know, obviously we've had some actors on here before. We had recently Jacqueline Taboni from the L Word, and we were talking about the process about how, you know, especially on film, like you're skating, you're sticking a trick. It's not like you're filming. I mean, I'm sure you film little parts of it, but versus the acting process, you're doing like one exchange and then another exchange, and then you're breaking down little pieces of that and doing angles and all that stuff. And so totally different creative process for sure.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
I mean, like acting too. It's like, you know, it's like 12 takes, and then they're like, okay, we got it. Skating is like, there's no limit on that shit. I don't know how long I'm gonna go for trying to trick. That's all on me. That's all on my body, you know. But with acting, there is an end point. There's a given time where we move on to the next take. But skating, you never fucking know, and that's just like the beauty of it.
hey, I was one of your projects, North Hollywood. Um, Obviously, a strong cast in that with some heavy hitters, including Vince Vaughn. What was that like working on that project for you and get in the mix with that?
That was, I mean, dude, that was a blessing. That was, it didn't feel like, I mean, that movie had a great turnout. But initially it started off just making short films with my buddy Mikey. Um, and he wanted to make a movie. And I was like, okay, fuck yeah, count me in, bro. And he like he casted the whole movie, him and Carmen Cuba. And I mean, it was an incredible process. And I had worked on sets already before that and done movies, and that was definitely one of the more comfortable feeling ones I had done, mainly because it was with my brothers, you know, my brothers and sisters, just people that I'd been known. So it didn't even feel like work almost, but you know, when it was our call time, you know, we were focused, and we didn't take shit light, and we fucking were there to like make a movie. Um, but it was great working on that movie, man. It was about, I want to say like a month and a half, 2 months of filming for it, and it was a hustle, man. Mikey's a hard ass director, you know. He's good at what he does. That was his debut, you know, and he killed it. And I think everyone was super stoked on the turnout, and definitely was blessed to be a part of that one for sure.
Hey, how do you find time between skateboarding and acting to like get your alone time, your Nico time, like to relax and to step away from uh all of that stuff?
If I'm on the road, I'll just book a hotel room. Yeah, I'll book a hotel room and I'll post up. I'll post up there for whenever I feel like I need to just isolate for a sec. Um, if I'm not, uh, and I got like a break, I'll just go home and see the family. You know, I'll
Yeah.
go to my childhood bedroom and just like, you know, mom will cook me up like some eggs in the morning, and I'll be like, fucking hey, like, why am I even on the road in the first place? Like, you know, like, I mean, just honestly, going back to my roots is like the biggest part of it. Yeah, going back and visiting my roots and going to like the same old spots I went to growing up. Go like eat breakfast at Beanbag Cafe or some shit. Like, you know, there's, yeah, just the nostalgic feeling of going back to SF is how I kind of like give off steam.
You get that fog that has that SF air. You know, you can
For
only
sure.
find that in SF. That's it.
Dude, going to bed and waking up to the foghorn, it's like one of the best fucking things ever. Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You know, Nick, I read somewhere that you have like a pretty strong distaste for fashion, and I noticed like when you skate, you're just uh you got your own style and your own
Mhm.
sense of fashion. Can you expand a little on that?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I wouldn't say I have like a distaste towards it. You know, I got homies that are fucking fashionistas out there that are killing it that I absolutely got so much love for. I never really thought of I mean, because I do take my style pretty seriously, but there are some days where I wake up and I just fucking throw on some shit and I just look like a bum. And then I go out and skate. And like my buddy Kodo, I remember, was like, bro, you dress like a fucking bum sometimes. Like, but you doing it, like you getting jobs and shit. And I was like, shit, I mean, fuck it, dude. But like, I definitely think when I'm out skating, you know, I never even wear a shirt. You know, someone I focus on are pants. You know, I like feeling good in my pants. If I don't feel good in my pants, then it's gonna be a bad session.
You know who didn't feel? Ed Templeton. He always had those tight. The old school skater Ed Templeton. He did not feel comfortable in his pants. I don't know. I don't know how he skated in those. I mean, he couldn't even bend his knees. That's how tight his pants were.
These things are tight, man. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I gotta have some baggies or some dickies or some flooded joints. You know, like.
Last time I saw Nico skate, he was wearing cheetah print fleece sweats.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I gotta be in my element, you know. And I guarantee I wasn't wearing a shirt, you know.
Nah,
and it's like, but if I'm popping out on the town or something with my crew or something, then I'm gonna put on a fit and be like, let's match up. Like, come on, let's look nice. Like, I'm gonna throw in some cologne and not smell like a sweaty skater.
right.
Like,
are you wearing your sponsored, like, are you wearing Lakai when you go out, or do you have like you know, some kind of badge?
Yeah, I gotta wear Lakai.
Yeah.
But I'll wear like some fresh ones, not the ones that I skated in, you know. So I'll wear some ones that I got cooped up in the closet. Right.
it's funny because the way I remember the skate culture, which you know, and Mike was more involved in, is they're very harsh on outside the line sometimes fashion stuff. You know, like if your skate shoes are, you know, the concept of being a poser or having the wrong trucks on or, you know, having the wrong gear. It's like, but yet
Judged.
yeah, you get judged, but in order for folks to take on new companies, they got to step away from that. And there's a lot, it seems like skating has changed to have a lot more, you know, outside the norm of what your normal shoes would be. I mean, I remember Nike's skating was like that's like you sold out. But now Nike's heavily involved in skating, you know?
Yeah, it's wild, man. I remember growing up and getting fucking clowned on by some of my best friends for wearing like pink t-shirt and yellow shorts, you know? Those colors don't match, and that's a wild color combination, you know? But like, I was still rocking with it. I remember my buddies like almost made me cry at one point because of how hard they were going in on me. Like, I had older heads too. I had OGs that were coming up to me being like, man, what the fuck are you wearing? And now, like, to this day, I still have like, I'll have some OGs. I remember recently, I won't even name them, but it's like, I had one come up and like was shitting on my fit. And I looked at the fool and I was just like, yo, my man, I'm shitting on your career. Like, I'm shitting on you. Like, I'm shitting on you. Like, sit down, man. Sit down. Like, don't even talk to me. And like, I mean, that just goes to show, like, you know, just be yourself, you know. Just be your fucking self. Just do you. Who gives a fuck? It's like, you're gonna get hated on either way. I always say this, but if you're not getting hated on, then shit, you must be doing something wrong, man. Like, you gotta have these haters out here to fucking keep you grounded.
Do you draw a lot from the Japanese culture? Obviously, as you mentioned, has some insane. I mean, when it comes to fashion, my wife's in fashion, and she's visited out there a lot, and like the stuff she always brings back is like, you know, they are on such a hype out there as far as like being on the cutting edge of trends and stuff like that. Do you pull from that as far as like stuff you wear? Is it more like, you know, something you don't pay attention to as much?
Pants wise, I always keep an eye out for Japanese pants, because if you notice, the cuts of the Japanese dudes are always the sickest denim, dude. like corduroy denim jeans flooded at the pants that are like light blue. It's like, dude, it's so sick, you know? And so if there's something I'm looking out for, it's usually some vintage, like Studio Ghibli fucking Hayao Miyazaki vintage t-shirt, or an incredibly expensive pair of Japanese denim. Yeah.
That's dope, dude. Well, look, Nico, I think we could probably talk to you all day. Before we let you go, we do a lightning round where we ask Bay-specific trivial questions. And if you get all the questions right, you get, we've got like a wrestling belt, and it's the Bridge to Bridge Championship belt.
Do you have it on you, Mike? Yeah, why don't you, you gotta put this, I mean, you know, this is a dope belt, bro. It's gold with a little laser engraving, and it's got the bridge on it. So it's yeah, it's got some firepower. It's a worthy belt that is, you know, we're gonna start getting like we got to start getting it to where if you wear the belt in a certain spot, you just get hooked up, you know.
So this is the belt. We'll have to.
No, that's sick, dude. That is badass.
So we got 3 or 4 rounds of questions. It should be pretty quick.
Damn, man. Damn, these better be some easy questions, man. Or else I'm gonna have to call in some heads, man. I gotta call in Ando.
Hey.
I gotta tell you, they are not easy, bro. They're extremely difficult. So don't. We have it's rare to win the belt, but let's give it a try. So for the first one, in a rare occurrence to kick off season 2, we're going to allow Mike drop the first one since his heart is so heavily connected to skating. This is a skate question out of the gate. This is round 1.
And you should be able to get this, bro. Okay, so
no pressure.
Yeah, right. Jesus Christ.
Before FTC moved, what street was their store on?
Oh, it was down in Hayes Valley, right?
It was in Hayes Valley, dude, but what street was it on?
Oh, fucking what street? It was on Hayes Valley. It was right near the old Huff store, dude. Oh, God.
It starts with an S, bro. It starts with an S.
It starts with an S, and it sounds like a skate term, shredder.
It's on Shredder.
Yeah, okay.
Boom, okay.
Copy.
Okay. I told Mike, really? You know, that's tough, dude.
Nah, I got you. For sure.
It's season 2, man. We're starting with love. We're giving mad love. You know what I mean?
Yo, thank God I got one right, dude. I was about to say, like, bro, you guys caught me out of left field with this one. I was like, oh, fuck. Are you serious, dude? Like,
this will be good, dude.
I'm like over here putting on for the Bay this whole podcast, and I don't get a single one right.
Especially about FTC, that'd have been bad.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Jesus. So we're entering now second round. This is like, you know, this is gonna get tougher here. So now this in the opinion of the brothers, the greatest taqueria in San Francisco for us lies in the outer Richmond. Now we're not saying that's everyone's greatest taqueria, but
Gordo's.
We have. Well, let me tell you. Hold on, before you guess, it's in the outer Richmond, and so think further.
30th Avenue and beyond.
Think further west. It is the dopest taqueria. We believe that it is superior to Gordo's.
I'll give you a hint. 34th and Balboa.
It's next to the Simple Pleasures Cafe, right there. It's a go-to outer Richmond taqueria.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been.
We should give them Gordo's just because the owners of the old spot were from Gordo, so technically.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you don't need to pity me, man. It's all good. I mean, if I got that one wrong, because honestly, I actually don't think I've been to a taqueria on 34th.
I told him you were from the Richmond. I thought you were from the Richmond. So the answer is Chino's.
It's Chino's Taqueria, but I'm telling you, look, season 2, there's so much love in season 2. and the questions get so hard that we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep this rolling. All right.
Done deal.
Okay.
Chinos,
So,
I need to check that out though, dude, for real.
oh yeah, Chino's, dude, is I'll just say, I mean, we're so bad with Chino's that when we walk in, they know our birthday. One time I went to Chino's and it was my birthday, and they put a handle of Christian Brothers brandy on the table, and they're like, "Happy birthday, man!" And I'm like, "Dude, how'd you guys know it was the B day?" And I was
Wow.
like, "It's like, come on, man, you guys are like family." I was like,
Hey, this fool
Let's go.
this fool 1 year for his birthday did a burrito birthday party where we bought a bunch of burritos and cut them in half, and all the guests came to the house, and everyone got a burrito.
"Yeah,
That is fucking beast. See, I'm out here in New York, bro. I cannot get a good burrito anywhere.
oh yeah, dude."
Anywhere, bro.
All right. Well, this next question is near impossible. So, I mean, it's very tough. But this next question is name every Muni bus line that runs east to west in the Richmond. And this is tough because, as Mike said, we thought you were from the Richmond, and so.
Yeah, no, I was barely out in the Richmond growing up.
So I'll alter this.
You named one bus.
You named one bus, and if you can name one other
Right.
bus in the Richmond, if you can name one other bus that runs east to west or north to south in the Richmond, we're going to let you through this round.
So I got the one, and then not the 24.
24 is Divisadero.
Not the 24. That's cool. No, not the 24.
Not the 24. I was gonna say no, not I was gonna say not 43.
No, it's Masonic.
No, not 43. Think about maybe, you know, how you got to Cabrillo School, or think about how you got to the beach, getting through the Richmond.
Gary Street, Fulton Street.
Yeah.
He's not ready, man.
Oh, dog. The 5?
The 5. Wow. That's an OG bus line right there.
Let's go, bro. Yes, because I remember I'd always pull up to flat spot 6 and Fulton.
6 and
baby.
Fulton.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I'd
Okay.
always take the 5. Take the 43 to the 5.
Okay, so we've as a family we've gotten through to this final question, and this is going to be a tough one because, as Mike points out, I'm old and I ask movie questions from way back, and so this is going to be tough. But there was a character who went by the name of Nico in a movie called Above the Law. Now, the actor in this movie, Above the Law, was also in a movie called Under Siege.
You don't know this, bro.
And this is an OG martial artist who was in Under Siege and Above the Law. And in this movie, Above the Law, he played a cop called Nico.
You fucking lost me, dude.
Yep.
Hey, hold on to that belt, man, for the next one that comes on the show, man. This one, I'm not getting this one.
This one, hey, look, just again, actor, martial artist, in Under Siege and Above the Law, OG actor. And in
Is
this
this
movie,
actor still alive?
yes, he's still alive.
I was about to come out you with Bruce Lee in a heartbeat.
I have a guess, Dom.
You're gonna guess on behalf of your homie. I mean,
Yeah, let me tag you in. Let me tag you in, Mike.
We're breaking all the rules here, but for season 2, it's all love. So
Let me tag you in, Mike. Let me tag you in.
Is it Chuck Norris?
no, Chuck Norris, nope.
Damn, I don't know, bro. What's the answer, dog?
Steven Seagal,
Oh yeah,
your
no
boy
shot.
Steven Seagal. Yeah, it's again. This movie came out when, like you said, when the folks were riding dirty through the city. That's when this came out about. But hey, I know. Next time Mike's skating, he'll still bring the belt. And this is season 2, so we're gonna get you some time with the belt to kick it, marinate.
Done
Nico,
deal, dude.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. We
Of course.
appreciate it. And we want to put you on. I know you have such a dope background and being from the city.